message from someone saying they were behind a car. Their friend was kidnapped from a Chick-fil-A in Palm Coast, and they were on the interstate behind the car.
Everything on your phone is telling me that you made a phone call to 911.
I didn't talk.
Because you did something stupid.
You're about to witness how social media can influence young people to do very dumb stuff and also get them in juvenile jail. I'm freaking loving this. Let's watch the video.
On July 26, 2023, dispatchers in Volusia County receive urgent 911 text from a driver who claims to be following an armed kidnapper's van on the interstate. When they trace the phone, however, they learn the messages are coming from a residence in Port Orange, turning a plea for help into an unexpected lesson in consequences.
I'm telling you this right now. You're going to take this as a lesson at 11 years old. That if you do something stupid in the future, you're going to enjoy those cuffs.
I'm not going to do this again.
The following report is based on official police records, and the footage has mostly never been seen before until now. It's just after 9:45 a.m. when 911 begins receiving texts from someone named Lily Lee Combs. She claims to be following a kidnapper's van on the interstate, and updates are still pouring in. Volusia County deputies, multiple area police departments, and a helicopter join the urgent search. When they fail to locate the van, a deputy tries calling the phone number that's been sending the text messages.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hi. Is this what's your name? Can you hear me? Hello? I'm trying to reach the person that called 911. Yeah, can you hear me? Oh, shut up.
Please leave your message for 3.
That's my voicemail. It says, RP confirming they're in a blue Jeep. Victim is in a white van. They can see they are being restrained through the windows. At the turnaround?
A new text message comes through, including a detailed description of the suspect, who's described as having brown hair and blue eyes.
How is she behind him? She's seeing this happen and she knows what color eyes he has. That's weird.
So basically, let me cut it short for you. Basically, this girl found a random YouTube video of something funny, of something stupid. Well, not funny, but something actually pretty worrying and dangerous, of actual people robbing a Chick-fil-A or stealing something and guns being involved. And she thought, this is gonna be funny. Let's make a prank call to 911 and tell them that someone kidnapped my friend and in a white van from Chick-fil-A, and I'm following the van on the highway. Very intelligent prank call. I freaking love it.
Their suspicions about the text messages are all but confirmed when a GPS trace on the phone comes back to a residence in Port Orange, indicating the texter is not traveling on the highway as they claimed. Deputies quickly head to the residence to investigate.
There was a 911 call?
Yeah, so somebody called in, or well, they texted.
Sorry, I'm not
Someone texted into 911 that someone was getting kidnapped and they were on the interstate, but then when they went and did like a location on the phone, the address was showing up here.
As their daughter Ava steps into the garage, her phone rings. The deputy answers it, leading to a shocking conclusion.
Hello? Hold on. Who's this?
Go to the county sheriff's office.
All right, cool. This is Deputy Attorney Sheriff's Office.
Oh, good. You got her.
Yep. All right.
Oh, okay, you're done.
Yep. I got both her parents here.
Yeah, we're going to ask the sheriff to go away in a second.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
What happened? I'm so
Let me see this fella.
Yeah, so all these other numbers. So there's a phone call out to 911.
There's a phone call out to
Yep.
911? What time?
There's one right here. There's 911 again right there.
This one was
These
called in.
numbers calling back in are no caller ID.
You did?
Well, there's 3 different times that 911 was called out from this phone.
9:30 a.m.
Yep.
That was the initial call.
Twice.
But I didn't mean to call that, did I? But you did.
You didn't mean to call that? Really? You didn't mean to call that? I'm loving seeing kids learning their lesson, not just from their parents, but also from the government, from the police, yeah, obviously. And now she's acting all smart and stupid. Now she's acting all dumb, thinking she can get out of the situation. She doesn't know where she is putting herself into. I've done stupid stuff like this. When I was 7 years old, so basically it was 2008, I'm 23 right now, I just learned in school the numbers for the hospital, for the police, for the fire department, and I prank called every single one of them. But this girl basically interacted with them through messages and through call for freaking 30 minutes, maybe more. It's mentioned in the video 30 minutes. And well, I just acted like, there's a fire, help, and I just turned off the phone. People pretty fast realized that, hey, this is a little kid prank calling us. We can trace the phone and stuff, but like, are we really gonna waste our time with this? But this girl actually wasted their time, pranked them so freaking long that they were actually speeding on the highway. They were actually trying to find this girl, trying to find this white van, wasting money and time that could have been wasted, well, not wasted, but used for actual people that need that help. And well, now this girl is gonna be confronted with reality.
Reports show that the number belonging to Ava dialed 911 at 9:30. When asked where the emergency is, a female identified as possibly a juvenile responded, "I'm sorry, I dialed the wrong number." The same phone number would later begin texting 911 to report the kidnapping.
When did I'm just so confused. I'm sorry. When did you got a message about an interstate?
So there was a text message from someone saying they were behind a car.
Could I call this
Who
back?
was kidnapped. Their friend was kidnapped from a Chick-fil-A on Palm Coast, and they were on the interstate behind the car.
What time is this?
This is this is today. It's
Oh, we
actually
got
going on
over
right now.
2:30 in the morning.
Okay.
So we were here the whole time since 2:30. We were on the interstate coming in
And
from
everything's showing that
Pennsylvania.
Right.
you called out.
We showed up here like 2.
Ava? How old are you, Ava?
All right, Miss Ava, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in court. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before we ask you any questions and to have the lawyer present during any questioning. You cannot afford a lawyer. One will be appointed for you before my questioning if you wish.
We're reading her rights.
Because you did something stupid.
Right.
Let me explain something here, okay? You can cry about this. What you've done here is a felony, okay? It's a felony crime, and you probably had 20 law enforcement officers at least, a helicopter, and all running with lights and siren on high speed to try to apprehend or try to stop a serious forcible felony from happening. Do you know what happens if one of those officers crashes and gets killed on the way to responding to something that you did as a joke? So you better take this serious.
Under pressure from both her father and the deputy, Ava offers an excuse for her actions, which doesn't sit well with the deputy.
Ava, you need to tell the exact truth. I don't want a story. I don't care what it is. I want the exact truth.
You can't make this go away by being quiet. The only thing that's going to happen to you is you're going to end up in a pair of handcuffs going to our juvenile facility. I'm not going to make mince any words with you. That's a very distinct possibility of what could happen here. Don't look at your mother. She didn't have any part in this. This was all you.
Yesterday, I think my brother said something that just maybe talking about it, and I did a read check and did all this.
Was he part of planning this with you?
No, he just said it, and then
What did he say?
he said it was 911.
This is your brother?
Yeah, he said this was 911.
Well, when we're done, will you wait a minute?
I said, no, you can't, then you have to do this movie.
What were you planning on happening out of this? Well, what did you think was going to happen when you said somebody was kidnapped and somebody had a gun? What did you think was going to happen? Well, did you have any thoughts about how much of the law enforcement resources in this area you were going to take up by doing that? I probably never thought of that, right? Did you think of the men and women that have families at home that are driving 90 or 100 miles an hour with their lights and siren on, trying to save somebody who's a victim of an armed kidnapping, that they could be involved in a traffic crash and be seriously injured or killed because you wanted to make a joke? Does that seem funny to you? Would that be funny if that happened? Because I can tell you that would be even more serious than what you're looking at right now.
You physically see your father walk up to sheriffs, military, everybody, thank you for your service. And then you do like this?
Though it wasn't captured on camera, reports state that Ava admitted to getting the idea to prank 911 from a YouTube challenge, and a deputy attempts to get more details.
Where was this video that you saw? Where was it? On YouTube? Do you remember who the creator was or who the poster was? What it was about? Anything? What do you mean by all of this? This is in what? So it was a video about the Palm Coast Chick-fil-A. That's it. That's all the video was about? Gotcha. So, yep. So you saw a video that somebody made about how fun it would be to call 911 or text 911 and say somebody's got a gun, somebody's trying to get hurt. You thought it'd be fun to recreate that. Is that what you're telling me? Okay.
However, Ava is about to realize an apology won't be enough to escape the consequences. Meanwhile, one deputy reveals that he was able to reach Ava by phone just before their arrival. Based on Ava's statements, deputies decide there's enough probable cause to arrest Ava and prepare to take the 11-year-old into custody.
Crazy kids. Well, not crazy kids. They're actually immature. And can you blame the parents? Yeah, obviously the parents would have stopped this. We have come to a point in our lives, in humanity, where you can't really control your child's life. Like the stuff they get influenced over on the internet, and the stuff they watch and do, and the people they interact with in real life, in school, and so on the street, playing with other kids. It's freaking scary. And if you think you're smart enough, yes, I'm gonna delete all the social media and I'm not gonna let my kid have a phone. Okay, but you know that's actually hindering your kid from actually having potentially friends. Yeah, technology and social media can be pretty damaging and bad, as we just saw, but it's also a pretty easy way to find your friends, to connect with your friends, to message them, hey, let's go out this day. And well, she's gonna lag behind quite a lot. She's gonna have less topics to talk about because, well, sadly, most kids, well, not sadly, but that's the reality, most kids are on freaking social media. So even if, let's say, you find a way, you block all your kids' social media, or you never give them a phone till I don't know what age or whatever, and you also find ways for your kid to make friends and to hang out with their friends, okay? Well, she's still gonna be on social media and on YouTube and blah, somewhat. You know why? Because her friends are gonna be on that stuff. When they're gonna go out, her friends are gonna be on TikTok, on YouTube, showing each other memes and funny stuff and news. The idea about pranking 911, about a Chick-fil-A freaking, what was it, a robbery or kidnapping? Yeah, kidnapping. It's freaking crazy. The best thing you can do is actually try and give them some moral code, some life lessons, some long talks, and sometimes stuff like this is gonna happen. And you know what? I'm freaking happy seeing kids getting what they deserve. And no, I don't want her to get hurt. I don't want her to go to juvenile prison for years or get beaten up or holy shit, no, that's not what I mean. But juvenile prison for at least a few weeks to a few months. Maybe a few months is a lot, but at least a few weeks, yeah, I can see it happening. I would love to see something like that happen. Either way, now she just ended up being in handcuffs and going to juvenile prison, jail, whatever you want to call it. Let's see it.
Carefully. Don't make this.
No, she'll be on it.
I don't know why, even kids as well, but even they always shout when they put on handcuffs. Now, I haven't been on handcuffs, so I don't know, but my grandfather used to work as in the prison in the town I grew up in, and I remember asking him, do those handcuffs have electricity in them and whatever, because maybe they hurt people? He was like, no. The only reason they hurt people is because when they're put on handcuffs, they're trying to pull it out and stuff, and it freaking hurts badly. So if you're actually neutral and calm, which again, depending on the situation, it's pretty hard to be neutral and calm, but if you want the best outcome possible, you should be calm, because you're already in trouble. Don't get yourself in even more trouble. But yeah, they just pull on the handcuffs and they just hurt themselves for no reason. Just calm down, okay? The handcuffs won't hurt if you're actually calm and not pulling on them between them.
Listen carefully what's going to happen here. No one's going to hurt you. You're going to sit in the car for now, okay? If you go somewhere, what it's going to involve is taking pictures, taking fingerprints, and then they're going to call your parents to come and get you. So don't make the situation any worse.
Where her father delivers a few hard truths.
I'm just warning you, you're not going to sit for a couple hours. They're going to be bringing you into the building, fingerprinting you, doing all sorts of stupid or you're stupid. Your life just changed, kid. Over a phone call, your life just changed.
Minutes later, the reality of the situation continued. According to a statement from the Volusia County Sheriff's Office, 11-year-old Ava was charged with making a false police report concerning the use of a firearm in a violent manner, a felony, and misuse of 911, a misdemeanor. After being processed at the Family Resource Center, she was later transferred to the Volusia Regional Juvenile Detention Center in Daytona Beach, Florida, an experience she is unlikely to forget. We requested more information about her case from the Volusia County Juvenile Court, and they said nothing is releasable.
That's basically it. Please, parents, instead of actually removing technology, I mean, you can do that, but that's also not gonna work long term. Or removing them from everything, from social life and whatever, and giving them the attention and stuff. Try and talk to them, try and give them advice, try and show them videos like this one. And freaking scare them, okay? Yes, that's what I'm saying. Try and scare them. I didn't do a lot of dumb stuff in my life. I did do a lot of dumb stuff, but I also didn't do a lot of dumb stuff. A lot of crazy stuff, like illegal chemicals and stuff. Why? My grandfather used to work in the prison. My mom, well, she works at an office job, but it's related to the police and prison and stuff, and she knows a lot of cases of young kids doing dumb stuff and ended up in juvenile prison. She used to tell me all these stories. Maybe she made up some of them to scare me, but trust me, they freaking worked, okay? And as every kid, as most kids, I have done a lot of dumb stuff and I have gotten in trouble, but not to this point. And yeah, that's basically it. Social media, man, and little kids, it's freaking scary. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. Have a nice day.